John Lennon was highly critical of songs he didn't like, especially his own, as well as several of Paul's. These are 22 of Lennon's most hated Beatles songs. In 1969, John Lennon stated, "I was always ashamed of that because of the abominable lyrics. It's the most embarrassing song I ever wrote. Everything rhymed, disgusting lyrics. Even then I was so ashamed of the lyrics, I could hardly sing them. That was one song I really wished I'd never written." In 1972, he told Hit Parader magazine, "That's the one song I really hate of mine, terrible lyrics." And in his Playboy magazine interview in 1980, "I always thought it was a lousy song. The lyrics are abysmal. I always hated it." Lennon thought the Bobby Scott and Rick Marlowe song was too old-fashioned and spitefully called it a waste of money. "That's me trying a rewrite of This Boy, but it didn't work," Lennon said of this song. He was also critical of She Loves You. "I can't stand She Loves You now. Every time I hear it, I turn the radio off," John Lennon said. John dismissed this one as just sort of a throwaway song. "I heard Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds last night. It's abysmal, you know," Lennon said in 1980. "The track is just terrible. I mean, it is a great track, a great song, but it isn't a great track because it wasn't made right. You know what I mean." John snidely referred to this one as granny music. When asked about the authorship of the song, he said it was Paul's completely. "I would never dream of writing a song like that." John saw this as an example of the sort of fictitious, message-free song he disliked. "I'm not interested in writing about people like that," he said, dismissing the tune. "I like to write about me because I know me." John never liked this one and would eventually call it a piece of garbage. John was furious that this song was chosen to be an A-side over his more experimental I'm the Walrus. "It wasn't a great piece," he said of the McCartney tune. "The best bit was the end, which we all ad-libbed in the studio where I played piano. Good piano lick, but the song never really went anywhere," he said. "Maybe I helped Paul with some of the lyrics, but I'm not proud of them either way." John despised this song and resented that the band spent more time on it in the studio than anything else on the White Album. John got so tired of Obladi Oblada that he came in the studio one day and banged out the opening piano much harder and faster than Paul had written it and said, "This is the way the song goes," and they kept that version. Both John and George hated this one and saw it as an example of Paul writing songs that were not very personal. He was very embarrassed by this one, especially all the cover versions of it that came along. "I saw Bob Hope doing it once on the telly years ago," he said in an interview. "I just thanked God it wasn't one of mine." "I think Paul wanted a song like Happy Birthday Baby, the old 50s hit," he said. "It was a piece of garbage. He disliked it so much, he denied writing it in an interview. Not me, a piece of rubbish." John hated it and didn't play on it. Lennon seemed to reserve a special animus for Maxwell's Silver Hammer. He refused to take any part in the recording of that McCartney song. But John was not the only one who didn't like the song. George and Ringo also did. They all really hated it because of all the endless takes they had to do on the song and Paul's extremely annoying perfection that wants all the different arrangements to be perfect. That's Paul's I Hate It, cause all I remember is the track. He made us do it 100 million times. He did everything to make it into a single, and it never was, and it never could have been. but he put guitar licks on it and he had somebody hitting iron pieces, and we spent more money on that song than any of them in the whole album, I think. Granny music, as John later called it. Only Your Mother Should Know is a worse one. Maxwell Silver Hammer is a joke that's not really funny. If you knew your band was barely able to be in the same room with each other, why on earth would you try to foist this one on them? Lennon said it in the 1980 interview with Playboy. That's a piece of garbage I had around, he said in 1980. He described it as a bit of crap that I wrote in India. It was literally a nonsense song, he said in 1980, going on to dismiss it as another piece of garbage. It has nothing to do with the Beatles, he said in a 1980 interview with David Sheff. It could have been Wings. I don't know what Paul's thinking when he writes Let It Be.
Hello.
That was Ringo, folks.
Well, what can I say?
And goodbye
You
from all of
know.
us.
Well, this is Ringo. Everyone seems to have said everything here, so I'll just sign off by saying cheerio and best of luck from the Beatles.